Here's 9 tips you can implement right now to help you balance your hormones and mend your period symptoms. Tip number 1, period red flags. If you're experiencing any of these signs and symptoms, it means that your body is out of balance. Heavy periods, bloating, tender breasts, mood swings, hormonal acne, excessive cramps, clots larger than the size of a quarter, not ovulating, or not getting your period at all. That's a sign that these tips are for you. Tip number 2. Almost all research studies have been done on men or women outside of their fertile years, so postmenopausal. So basically, up until 1993, women in their fertile years were excluded from clinical studies. This means that hundreds of years of research has formed the basis of our society. It's what conventional doctors are taught, it's what the fitness industry is based on, and what our food recommendations are based on too. This means a lot of the information out there, and even more recommendations given by professionals that are supposed to, the ones that we're supposed to trust, like our doctors, are not being properly applied to us and can even make things worse. Women operate on a 26 to 36 day cycle and have 4 major phases, while men operate on a 24-hour hormone cycle, so you can see how wildly different we are. This brings me to my next point. Tip number 3. Working out too much can actually make your body store fat rather than lose it, which is counterintuitive because conventionally, people might think that going to the gym however many times a week to get fit, stay slim, build muscle, it's what our body needs. But it's a little different for women. Doing intense workouts during certain phases of your cycle can cause the female body to think that you're under threat and it'll try to protect itself by retaining more fat. Instead of that exercise, using the calories you eat to build muscle, it's going to scare it in holding on to that fat. Over-exercising can even cause you to lose your period, which you know now isn't healthy. Tip number 4, you can only get pregnant for 7 days out of the month. Yet when we're young, most of us are told, you're gonna bleed, here's a tampon, it's gonna suck, and you can get pregnant every day. So here, take birth control. Which is wrong because the egg only lives inside us for 24 to 48 hours and sperm can only live inside us for 5 to 7 days. Fertility awareness method is a way to track your cycle to know when you can or can't get pregnant. This has a 99.4% accuracy rate when used correctly, and that's actually a higher success rate than hormonal birth control. Tip number 5. Here's a quick win that you can take away right now and start doing today. Eat breakfast within 30 to 60 minutes of waking up. This helps regulate blood sugar, stabilize our hormones, and our cortisol levels. This can also help you with acne, energy levels, cramps, and promote stable moods. In the full course, we cover what types of foods are supportive for balancing your cycle. Tip number 6, use a basal body thermometer to track your cycle. People like to rely on apps which use an algorithm that takes from your previous cycle and then predicts when you might ovulate in the future. And this is not always accurate, especially if you're still balancing your hormones because your cycle can change, which means ovulation can change, which could lead to an unwanted pregnancy. So I would definitely not recommend at all for you to rely on a period app to track it, especially if you don't want to get pregnant. And if you do want to have babies, it'll be super helpful to know when you are ovulating so you can successfully achieve pregnancy. This is the thermometer I use. Every morning when I wake up, before getting out of bed, drinking water, or doing anything, I put this under my tongue, press the on button, and then I get my basal body temperature for the day. In the course, we go into really deep detail about signs of ovulation and how to track your cycle. Tip number 7, not eating enough. People think eating less calories than you burn is going to help you lose weight, which is generally true for men, but the female body knows that during your menstrual cycle, it needs more energy. So if you're not eating enough nourishing food, your body will take that lack of food as a threat and tell your brain to store those calories as fat for a later time when you might need it. But by eating enough nutrient-dense whole foods, our body will feel safe and not feel the need to hold on to that extra fat. Tip number 8, use your cycle as a superpower. Your energy levels change a lot during your cycle, so use that to your advantage. Your follicular and ovulatory phase is when you have more energy. So if you want to get an epic workout in, that's when to do it, and you'll get the most benefits out of it during that time too. Or when you're out socializing, going out, seeing friends, or meeting new people, and you want to show up as your most energized you, schedule that during ovulation. Even being able to let people know when you're in these phases versus when you want to be alone and how you can be most supported during each different time of the month. Some female-led businesses have even integrated that into their working environment so that all the women there can use their cycles to their advantage. It's pretty cool. Tip number 9, why is this happening to me? That's a question a lot of women ask when their symptoms suck. In 2015, the American College of Obstetrics and Gynecology, they officially declared that your cycle is a 5th vital sign of health. And those signs are measured through your symptoms. So your cycle is a measurement of your overall health. It's important to reframe the mindset of why is this happening to me into what is my body trying to tell me? Remember that your body is the most advanced technology ever created. More advanced than anything us humans have ever created and probably ever will too. Your brain, with 100 million neurons, is more complex than the perceivable universe. So you just need to learn how to operate it. And it's not your fault you don't know how to, we just weren't educated about it as kids. And I'm pretty mad about it too. But this is why I built this course. So scroll down on this page and sign up so you can start living a more balanced life today, join an awesome group of like-minded women, supportive women, and make new friends. We offer payment plans to make it as easeful as possible for you, and I'll see you on the other side.